Hi there. So this week we're talking about OT insights and consumer reviews of different things that an OT would use and you might be looking for your child. So today we're going to talk about weighted vests and compression vests. And first and foremost, what I want to say is consult your occupational therapist. Hands down, this is going to be more blanket statements that every OT would agree on in general, but each student, each child, and each grown-up is different in why they need the weighted vest or blanket or compression vest and what the goal is with that. So I really want you to work in tandem with an occupational therapist. I'm looking right at you because I really want you to hear that. This is not something to goof around with. It's something to kind of take seriously when thinking about equipment with both of these things. So now that I've scared you a little bit, let's not be scary because they can be really helpful, but I really want you to take that seriously. Not scared, serious. So when you're thinking about a weighted vest or a blanket for you or your child, it should be between 5 and 10% of the body weight of the individual. So if you weigh 100 pounds, it should be between 5 and 10 pounds. You can start with 5% of the body weight, working your way up to 10% of the body weight, but for sensory purposes, 10% is the max. So that's that. There is no scientific data yet, no studies have been done about frequency of how often to do this with a weighted vest. I would say all the time is very tricky. Everything in moderation, right? Nothing should be done all the time. And it's really helpful if you pair your weighted vest with an activity. So for example, if you put the weighted vest on, 5 to 10% of the body weight, and then the child sits and does homework, then the child does chores because it's more pressure on their body. It's really roping you in a nice way that you're feeling compact. Taking a test, helping to put away toys, doing different chores, helping to put toys away. I'm gonna be very honest, I actually during pandemic got myself a weighted vest. It is 10 pounds. I have it here in my lap and I can put it on for you. It's a workout weighted vest, but it really does the same thing. And I will be honest, if I'm having a hard day, sometimes I put this on and clean my kitchen floor, or I vacuum, or I do things that I need to get done anyway. And so I put this on and I zip it up and I can make it as tight or as loose as I need to. And so I have it on. This is my weighted vest. And I have to be honest, when I first put it on, it's 10 pounds. It feels like a lot. But as I move, it feels more comfortable. And it does give me a sense of security and groundedness. And then when I take it off, I do feel lighter. But sometimes along the sides, I can make this as tight as I want it to be. So those are things you probably want to look for in a weighted vest for your child or yourself. Is it adjustable? And so I can take these, our weights, I can take these out. And this is super handy. I have these for children too, from an OT standpoint, but I can make this much lighter or heavier for myself, which is what you want for a child as well. Especially if you're the occupational therapist and gonna use it for different children, or if your child grows, which they all do so quickly, these are very helpful. So this is the weighted vest. And again, you don't leave this on all the time. I would pair it with an activity. So put it on at the beginning of the activity and take it off at the end of the activity. And then there's a fluctuation of it on and off. And remember, this isn't something that just is like one and done. Like, oh, I used the weighted vest yesterday. I'm not so sure why they're having a hard day. It's heavy. It's kind of continual, meaning this is where you talk to your occupational therapist. You have a schedule for it that you always, when they're taking a test, you put it on. When they're giving you distress signals that they need to be a little bit more focused, that's when you would put it on. The second is a compression vest. Compression vests are used for sensory seekers because a compression vest is calming to them. And for children who are more under responsive, compression vests are, it's hard to say, are very helpful because it actually improves tone and alertness. It's alerting them. So this is actually tight and heavy. So it kind of does both in one. So if you don't have a compression vest, or mainstream, again, they're making compression shirts, short sleeve, long sleeve. They're making compression belts. I have compression socks, body socks at my space down the street, meaning it looks like a big swimsuit material that's a big rectangle, and it velcros up the front, and you stand in it and you can get feedback from it because you push in it. That's something a little bit different as well, but I would consult an OT as well for that too. If you don't have anything compression wise, no problem. That's not a big deal at all. No vest, no problem. Things that you can do are have your child lay on the floor and give them input. Think about like a rolling pin, rolling something soft along them, or a little bit of squeezes. I think about like a squeeze machine like Temple Grandin used and created. Thank you, Temple, where she put herself through, and I've used one before, and boy, is it handy. It really relaxes your body. There's a lot to talk about neurologically and sensory wise behind all that. That's why this is a quick snapshot. Other thing you could use are weighted blankets, but again, 10%, 5% of the body weight overall. I mean, I would never use a 20-pound weighted anything. That's just not good for my body. So always think about the weight, 5 to 10%. Okay, this is getting longer than I would have wanted, but there's so much to talk about, and this is honestly the tip of the iceberg, if even a little less than that. Please consult your occupational therapist. Always reach out to me as well if you have questions regarding your child or student or self specifically, or anything in general. Yeah, these are mainstream. Any occupational therapist likes to see that because they're easier to access and they don't have to cost as much as they used to. But we want to make sure that you're using them safely and appropriately so that you get the most use out of it, bang for buck, right? And you're not harming a child's body. So we want to be safe. All right. Seems like that's the theme of 2020, being safe. Anyway, it's good to see you guys. I'll see you tomorrow we're going to talk about sensory diets tomorrow. So I'll talk to you soon. Have a great day and let me know if you have questions. Okay, bye-bye.